This is going to be my audience for this speech. On the right's my friend Brian, and on the left's my friend Chewy. Alright guys, this is going to be a continuation of my previous speeches, which I'm sure you know by now is on the topic of global water scarcity. And I'd just like to begin by saying I think we live in perhaps one of the most interesting and, arguably one of the greatest periods in all of human history. The technological advancements that have occurred just in the past couple hundred years have catapulted human society into an era of unprecedented well-being. Diseases that used to routinely take out entire populations of human beings have been largely eliminated, have been largely cured. 30 years ago, if you got AIDS, it was a death sentence. And nowadays, it's certainly not a death sentence. There's somewhat of a consensus that they've found maybe a cure for it. It's definitely something you can live with. The life expectancy alone has increased by more than 30 years just since 1900, just in the past century. That means that on average, people are living 30 more years than they were just 100 years ago. But even today, even in 2015, in this technologically sophisticated world, even the most basic of resources cannot be accessed in a sustainable way. And water is the most important resource of all. And if you would follow me real quick, this is literally the foundation of all life on Earth. Without it, no one can survive. It's what differentiates the planet Earth from all the other planets in the solar system, giving us life while they remain barren and desolate. But again, in 2015, in this technologically sophisticated society, with all the innovations in transportation, in medicine, in communications, the internet, with all that, we can send satellites to Pluto, to the farthest edges of our solar system. We can put a man on the moon, but we can't access the most important resource of all in a sustainable fashion. That's just tragic. Currently 1.2 billion people around the world are living in areas of water scarcity. And the tragic thing is, that number is only set to grow in the coming decades. Currently, the rate of water usage is twice that of the population. And that's really saying something, considering the global population since the Industrial Revolution has increased at an exponential rate. All those great innovations in technology and in medicine that have, caused the life expectancy to rise so significantly, have caused the living standard to rise so significantly, have also caused the global population to explode. And obviously, the more people there are, the more water they're going to need to drink. Everyone needs to drink water. And so the problem is the demand for water has grown enormously, while the supply has really remained the same and even dwindled a lot. And in my previous speeches, I talk about why water scarcity is such a terrible issue. And obviously, people need to drink water. Without water, they can't survive. That's an enormous humanitarian crisis. And I also talk about, potential solutions. And in my previous speeches, I present that as being the combating of global warming. Essentially, global warming and water scarcity are two issues that are interconnected. They're essentially one and the same. Global warming causes water to be scarce. The rising of temperatures on the Earth causes there to be less physical water on the Earth's surface. And so, if we really want to fight water scarcity, we also need to fight global warming. I present that as being, the reduction of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere and the reduction of pollution. Minimize environmental harms to the greatest degree that we can. I'd just like to play devil's advocate here for a bit, because I understand that global warming is a massively controversial issue. There's probably members in the audience that may believe it's maybe not even a scientifically proven phenomenon. That's widely debated among scientists. But I think facts are facts. And there has been a 4% increase in the surface temperature of the ocean since 1850. Scientists have been taking readings of the ocean surface temperature since 1850, every year since then, and they've found that it's risen from 4% from then to now. And while that might not seem like a significant change, trust me, in terms of surface temperature, it really is. But perhaps the most drastic change lies in the reduction of Arctic ice caps. And this is strictly speaking for the Arctic. I'm not even sure about the Antarctic. Just the Arctic ice caps have shrunk by 35% since 1979. Now, that's an enormous decrease. And obviously, when things get hot, they tend to melt, and that seems to be unfortunately what's happening. So again, if we, and also, some people might say, why is water scarcity the number one issue facing humanity? It's my position that's arguably one of the biggest issues facing humanity in the 21st century. And some people out there might say, what about the global war on terrorism? What about global economic crises? Aren't they bigger issues than water scarcity? And while those are horrible issues and they deserve immediate attention, they're very pressing, I will say that, but if you look at the numbers, just purely in terms of how many people are affected, say for example by terrorism, it's nowhere near as many people that are being affected by global water scarcity. And for that reason, I'm comfortable with asserting that is the biggest issue facing humanity in the 21st century. Thank you. How long?